Coach Dan here from Rise Above, and I'm here to talk to you about fasting for weight loss. Is it a good thing or a bad thing for you? So let's go ahead and let's take it a step back on how to lose weight as a whole. You need to basically burn more calories than you're consuming. So if your metabolism is burning 1,500 calories a day or 10,500 calories per week, you need to eat less than that amount to lose weight. And say that's science, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. In order to lose weight, if you burn this many calories, that number needs to be lower than what you consume needs to be lower than what you burn. Like I said, that is science. So fasting for weight loss. Fasting doesn't matter in terms of weight loss at the end of the day. If you are under the amount of calories that you burn in terms of what you consume, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to lose weight. Now here's the flip side. Say, as you're starting to lose weight, there's fat on your body. That fat affects your metabolism. If basically you lose fat and muscle, and say your metabolism is gonna slow down. So this 1,500 per day might actually drop to like 1,000 calories. And we've seen this amongst a lot of people who, and say if you say you have a slow metabolism or a crashed metabolism, it's probably because you haven't done anything to basically boost your metabolism up, meaning weight training. Weight training is the best way to build your metabolism back up. Why? Muscle burns calories constantly. Knowing that, and say you need to make sure that you fuel for that. Now the metabolism in terms of burning 1,500 calories per day, if you are very sedentary, which I'm gonna put probably everybody in that category except for professional athletes. Reason being is your metabolism changes constantly. And say just because you burn 1,500 calories today doesn't mean that you're gonna burn 1,500 calories tomorrow. It could be 1,450, it could be higher than this, it could be 1,600. So again, your metabolism is fluctuating always. However, the one thing that your body is really good at is adapting. So if your body is basically adapted to what you're doing, meaning if you're intermittent fasting or fasting as a whole for long periods of time, generally longer than 3 weeks, a lot of the benefits that you saw when you first started doing it are gonna disappear. 2 reasons. 1, your body's adapted. Your body's like, well, you're not feeding me as much as you were before. I need to make adjustments through the body. Things that happen is when basically that happens, it tears down muscle, meaning, okay, if we're only gonna be consuming this many calories, I can't have this much muscle on my body because muscle expends way more energy than anything else. I'm gonna slow your functions down. I say your bowel movements will slow down. You might be a little bit slower mentally as well. You might not get as good of sleep. There's a lot of different things that the body can do. And I say, if the body doesn't think you're healthy, the first thing it's gonna do is gonna shut down your non-essential things. Things that, for instance there, I say women tend to lose their period, men tend to lose their sex drive, and that's all because your body is adapting to what you're doing. So is fasting for weight loss a good or bad thing? To be quite honest, it's not a good thing at all for you. There's a lot of benefits to fasting. Weight loss is a bad way to do it, I say to lose that weight. You need to be watching your metabolism and paying attention to roughly how many calories you burn in a day, and if you're not sure, that's okay. There's a lot of technology out there that'll tell you how many steps you're taking and things like that. And say, with that being said, let's circle back around to the fasting for weight loss, good or bad. Like I said, generally speaking, it's bad. Why? Because people abuse it. Just like anything in the fitness industry, and say somebody sees one little grain of truth in there and is like, blows it way out of proportion. So, like I said, fasting has a ton of benefits. I say it's been shown to help with people who have cancer and eliminating cancer cells. It's been shown to help brain function. Like I said, a lot of benefits in fasting. One of the side effects to fasting, because I've done a fast before, is I lost weight. Well, guess what? I say if I was overweight and I fasted and I saw that I lost weight on the scale, I might go, holy shit, and say, I just lost weight from fasting. I'm gonna keep doing it. One person says that to somebody else and they're like, hey, this is what I'm doing to lose weight. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And then all of a sudden it's a snowball effect. Does that mean it's healthy for you? No, to be quite honest, if you're doing fasting or intermittent fasting, you're probably abusing what you're doing. And I say you have a poor relationship with food. Because like I said, at the end of the day, It depends on how many calories you burn. It doesn't matter when you eat those calories. If you eat over 10,500 calories in a week and your metabolism is 1,500 per day, you will gain weight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And say, if you eat less than these numbers, of course you're going to lose weight. And say, what intermittent fasting basically does is it makes it hard for you to consume a lot of calories, thus putting you in a calorie deficit. It does nothing to do with, I say, not eating between a 12 to 18 hour window or a 24-hour window or whatever. Now, with that being said, these are generic numbers. So these are just easy numbers that I wrote down to basically show you. So if you really want to lose weight, and say, pay attention to what you're eating and how much of it you're actually eating, because that's what matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you eat 1 time a day or 6 times a day. Say, if you eat one meal of 1,500 calories, that's all the calories you need for the day. I say, are you probably going to be grumpy at 8 o'clock at night? Hell yes. So spread those out a little bit and don't feel like you need to be in a big window of not eating or trying to get X amount of calories within a specific time frame. Like I said, say, when it comes to fasting, that's not what's making you lose weight. Being in a caloric deficit is what actually makes you lose weight. If you have any questions, drop them below, let me know, and I can answer them for you. Coach Dan here from Rise Above. Have a good one.